think I'd like to ask the speakers if they would like to ask each other a question to begin. No, and then we just open it up. Yeah? Yeah? All right, fine.
In the opening of your statement, you have made clear the political responsibility of the arts instead of the world or last week. Then we were talking about the fair of alienation and freedom on the freedom in our society. After saying that, there is no answer there for the artist. There's no way that we can be socially integrated. So you're talking about a new generation, about a generation that does not make art as an art and not change. You're advocating in a way, lethargic serious, so that something new would eventually emerge.
Well, it certainly has been my own solution, which is to simply withdraw my own energies from art making at this point and put them into other forms of being in the world and making other kinds of things different. I don't precisely want to suggest to other people that is the unique and open. The problem is that there is no answer as long as we stick with the premises and the sort of mindset that we have presently. If we begin to change our priorities and our premises and what we're living for and what we think is important, I think that we may learn what kind of art to make again. We don't all undertake in our own private ways, whether we are artists or not, to make some kind of personal sacrifices and private withdrawals of our energy and investment from the present structure and the present system as it stands. That, in any case, it will all be taken from us, and that the only way that we can prevent it from being taken from us is to give it up beforehand.
Isn't art, in effect, giving it up now? Giving up this atomic indemnity in all the kinds of work. And isn't it likely that art is responsible for our evolution if we wish to use it? And we may find it. I read that Jerome Bruner today, one of the professors.
I think at this point, art and artists are not in the forefront of our society. That is not where the real energy for growth and change is
I
coming
wasn't
from.
speaking of individual artists at all. I'm speaking of the great mass of art left over from the past, which is still functioning. Art does not die out like individuals.
Well, I'm not trying to suggest that it die out, and I am trying to suggest that we back ourselves into a back hole.
I think art is doing a very good job of showing us where we are, and we're not where we are.
I think that we have to start asking more of art and of ourselves, which is not just knowing where we are, but actually making some conscious plan of where we want to go so we don't get taken to a place that nobody wants to be.
I guess I think there is slightly different to the others. Can you hear me now?
No, closer.
I think that artists, like most people, have to make choices. And I think some artists do choose to leave art and turn their attention to other activities, other things that they may feel more effective. On the other hand, there is such a thing. There are quite a number of artists, both in the United States and in other countries, who use their art as a means of putting out a message. And certainly, especially if you read most of what we've been talking about, including the visual art, painting and sculpture. But if you look at the political forms that art takes, here in New York, there is right now a number of plays by the Czech playwright Václav Havel, which are certainly political plays. They are protest plays, plays which are not being shown, obviously, at Slovakia these days. There's a whole Polish theater, some clearly it's written about it. There are many art forms which can serve political ends. There are many artists in this country who use their art to try to persuade people to change policies that might lead us into nuclear war. And I think that to think of art only as art for art's sake, even though this is the most prominent way of looking at it, is to neglect a whole sphere of art, and we can't possibly sit in this room and imagine that this is the case.
Like, what would be good art because art?
Oh, that's of course a good question. What is good art? But that's a different question. I suppose.
No, not necessarily, because art is like something that is so good in order to do it.
The pop art movement is definitely a satire on society. That we see that it's very social art. It's definitely a criticism.
Answer that by saying that it was perhaps satire or meant to send up that society until that society welcomed those artists and started paying them off at great prices to continue doing what we're doing. And in my view at that point, it loses whatever value as satire it ever had.
Can I say something? I'm sorry, but I feel like I'm sort of being put on the defensive as an artist for many of the things that have been said by three people. And I hate to be in that position because nobody wants to be on the defensive. But I feel that that many of the things sort of imply almost like it sounds to me like sort of like a hatchet job on the morality of the artist or our time. And I feel that artists basically are no different from anyone else. You know, there are people that care. I think the world is a community of people around them and a large world, and there are people who don't. And in the same way, there have always been artists whose work has dealt with the world of the community, and then there's been artists that have not. And many of the artists who are fond to quote are artists from the past who we now consider as very major artists who in their time were working anonymously in the same way that the artists today who are doing art that has a real quality that we now do not recognize. So I'm trying to make a lot of points, but that's just some of it.
I don't want to leave you with the impression that I, in any sense of the word, that I take the position that artists are less moral than they should be. On the contrary, I think that there's room for all kinds of artists in art, and in fact, I've sort of said that before. I would certainly agree that we can't set artists apart from the rest of the human race, and that, in fact, basically the human race divides up artists included between those who care or care to pay attention and perhaps do something and those who don't. I would equally say that at this point in time, the state of the world being what it is, I don't think it's bad for any of us to be put on the spot.
I'm the misunderstood, but maybe there is some much on it. We know that there are poor artists that get, they have that chance, therefore there isn't enough of them to be poor artists to get to the public. But maybe there's too much of them to get to all. If you look at society with women, by lots of women, as for some reason, it has become over-developed woman in our society, where the image is more important than reality. The television, for example, the case, makes us more interested in war. There's more war on television than the person who was at the Vietnam, and he probably saw as much of the war as was on television. Maybe there's society, the problem is there's too much of it.
So what would you do about that?
I would say that we should stop this halfway glorification of the art, the artist, and the image maker, and get back to the audience. Maybe they have something to say.
One of the problems is that someone may hear you and they're going to have a new television show in which the audience is the actor. I think it's been done better.
But still be television.
to that point, there are times when what you have said is actually literally true. For example, the Dutch government a few years ago initiated a policy whereby artists could do works which, if it were accepted, would be purchased by the Dutch government. And artists started doing this, such as little paintings, which they could do very rapidly and bring them, brought them in every week, or every month, I guess. And they were allowed to paid a certain amount of money, which was the average Dutch annual income as a limit. Now, they, in the meantime, have accumulated enormous stocks of these little paintings, most of which are modern, non-objective, abstract, whatever, which were intended to be put into offices and into public buildings and so on. Nobody wanted them. But they are works of art and they therefore have to be preserved. So the Dutch government had to go to a great deal of trouble to establish warehouses that were air conditioned in order to preserve them for condition. On the other hand, I think, aside from a situation of this kind, I don't know if people want to say that there's too much art. I don't know. Oh.
That's good. What do you say? Too much talk.
Yeah, I thought that it would be interesting in the next space lab to send up a dance troupe to do dance in weight space. You see this as a kind of social use of the art. As a way of linking somehow.
Who would see it?
Pardon me?
Who would see it?
Well, the fact that it was the, everybody sees these things, Just the fact that it's being done seems to
No, it's me who has to go.
I think what I'm trying to say is it reflects something that's going on within the arts right now, that technology and art sort of work hand in hand. And, it's, you see liberation and alienation as opposite sides of the coin, but in a way, liberation is a force, of technology, of history. So, okay, there is that alienation, but there is a liberation to go further in terms of what we can do as, just intelligent beings.
The question is, what are you doing it for?
Okay, well,
Good question.
Alternative to militarism, space is a useful outlet in terms of technology being used for non-militaristic things, so it's linked to arts and aesthetics. Perhaps that's the reason.
Emotional satisfaction, and I think that artists who are isolated, who quit painting, quit doing whatever they do, they're people who don't have much motivation to their art. A real artist is a person who gets kind of emotional satisfaction out of his work, and he's creating his own world, and it doesn't really matter whether anybody sees it or not.
Well, I would,
Like it as in Kafka, most of his work, he didn't even want to publish.
He doesn't create his own world. He creates our world, what our world made him feel. There's his condemnation.
If you feel like Warhol's not what you mentioned, it's just a commercial he's largely, he's a commercial artist.
He hasn't worn very well.
This won't be a very popular thought, but I believe that art reflects the society in which it is produced. And I don't think you're doing exactly the right thing and jumping on all the artists because, the gloomy thoughts that I have and that at the commercialism and so on, these things affect all of us, whether we're artists or not. And as someone was talking about alienation, I thought, is it possible that artists have no value system? Because if you have a value system, freedom is an opportunity. If you know what you want to do, and you have values, and that's what applies to people, whether they're artists or not. And I do think that something is wrong with a lot of our value systems in this country. But we have a great opportunity now to start turning it around.
And the artists have done exactly that. If you look at our art, you can see that's the kind of thing they're doing at the same time that you blow with such a thing, such a condemnation. I mean,
Well, what I'm talking about is the threat of nuclear war. I'm old enough to remember the Depression, and I remember how people reacted to that. People who never did anything before changed. And we haven't had anything like that since then until now. And we've been very blessed as a country because we're so rich in all our resources. And I think that's one of the reasons for our materialism here, because literally, no matter what fools we are, it can't hurt us. Right? So it's been until now. But now we can be hurt. That's all I'm saying.
I totally agree with what you're saying. My point is the quite simple one. I mean, you make the point that in the Depression, people that are having some terrible happening to them, when that happens, they change. And the dilemma for all of us at this point is whether we're going to let that terrible thing happen in order to make us change, and after which there may be no more possibility for change, or whether we change beforehand so that terrible thing doesn't have to happen.